Want to 10x your growth? Discover how only 3 growth hacks in 10 days can change everything. Welcome to the 10-Day Growth Hacking Challenge with your host, Nana Sabri. Today we are here with Simran and her team from Power Women. They're shaking things up in the women in power space with a philosophy that will not just surprise you, but inspire you. They're looking at not just the empowerment of women, but that is not the requirement. What they're looking at is the navigation of the empowerment of women. And they're looking at very advanced concepts like a sponsorship program, which was explained in the last video. Check that out. Go to hack number 2, and other ways to get women working together in navigating the empowerment space to get the most out of their network. As we get started to know more about Simran and her team, you can click below. If you'd like to know more about her story and the philosophy behind what she's doing, you can go over to the kickoff video to see the very first one that we've done to know more about her team, and what she's up to. As we always do before we get started, always just a quick reminder, what we do here is coming from the growth thinking methodology. If you want to do what we do here, this is your answer. Welcome aboard, Simran. How you doing? Hi, how's everything?
Everything's great.
Yeah.
Finally coming to an end.
And it's not that, I mean, seriously, I mean, I'll give more feedback next week, but like you and your team have been awesome. I've seen quick response. You guys are like, you have so much authenticity and you're so genuine in the way that you're doing things. I absolutely love it. And that's one of the things I really believe is going to work really well for you, especially with the concepts that are behind what you're doing. We'll talk about that in the next video. But what we want to cover here today is, if first and foremost, you have any results from hack number 1 or 2 you'd like to share with us, or if there are any updates related to them, it'd be great to share with us. If not, we can move straight into hack number 3.
Absolutely. So hack 2 has worked well. We've shared the Open That Door challenge. For example, we were inspired by a professor at a university who had done a paper on HBR, and she's also engaged with the content. And we've now reached out to her, asking her if she would do a session on the topic with us. We've seen people at different levels engaging. Okay. And we've had positive response of people replying and saying we'll be posting, and we've had some people share their stories. But this is, again, a very big kind of change, right, that we are trying to make. It's not like a quick discount coupon or anything like that. Yep. So this is something that we, like you say, Nadir, always, we have to be consistent at, give it time. Yes, yes. And you're on the right track. I'm going to give you some feedback about that. But the point, though, is that you've got high-level people responding to the quality of the approach you're taking is super crucial. One piece of feedback I'll share now on that hack, just as feedback that I got from others when I shared it with you. When I shared the name Open the Door or Open Her Door, the Open Her Door with the her in the middle rather than the door resonated with 3 people a lot more than Open the Door. When I talked to them about your background and hashtags. So I don't know if you further tested it, but I think that there's merit in testing the 2 hashtags to see, you can potentially even use both. There's nothing wrong with that. But ultimately, I think because her has the specific connotation specific to your field, I think that it may be very powerful. Again, test it out. We don't know. Just for background, everyone kind of tuning in, this is a campaign that Simran is running. It's under the sponsorship program. So essentially, if someone has endorsed you in the past, she'd like you to pick up on picking a picture or something that relates to it and telling the story using the hashtag to inspire other people by tagging them as well, of course, about that story to get other people to open doors. Really, really powerful concept, as I think that with more consistency, not that I think, I'm convinced that with more consistency, it will seriously pick up, because it's, again, you're very strong at very powerful philosophies and concepts. I think it's one of your superpowers. You got to keep using it. Yeah. Share a good example here. For example, there is an investor and also mentor for FI based in the Valley, right? So we do try to reach out. We want to make a point here. One, it's harder for women and also people of color. So, he's a person of color, so we reached out, right? And he had examples. He said, I'm really like this campaign and I want to share my story, and I will do that, and I will share it on 1, 2, 3 channels. Give me time till Tuesday. So you see, people identify with it.
Yes.
because
Yes.
somebody's done it, because they know it's hard, right? So it was really nice. So
Yeah. Well,
I'm
what I like is you and your team challenged me to do the same as well. And I haven't responded yet either, but I will be, because you know what happened to me is like I started going through my album for old pictures, and you brought me like a whole bunch of memories on other things before I even got to what I was actually supposed to be doing. But what it made me do is think about the people that I want, and I'm trying to find pictures and I'm not. And I'm thinking like, how can I find some artifact that I can share in this campaign that's powerful? And obviously, a picture is the most powerful of them all. And I'm just you've made me really think about that, and that's a really good thing.
Thank you. But I think this will take time. So we've
Yep.
launched it this week. The landing page is there. We've shared it with a few. I think the next 2 weeks will be crucial,
Yep.
and we'll be at it.
Fantastic. Okay, so that's hack number 2. So what's hack number 3? Tell us what hack number 3 is. If you've had some signals, let us know what they are. If not, let's discuss it and what it looks like so far.
Yeah, so hack number 3 is basically we are building on what some of the experiences we've had in the past. So we've done like over 20-25 events, leadership summits in the last 1 year with very good partners and very senior people, but often we've not made the effort to kind of market it that well. I do feel that many more people would benefit from it. So we haven't spent the energy, looked at additional platforms or built additional channels, partnerships to where we could promote the event. And so this is what we are planning to do this time, to actually think. So we have a very good event again in the pipeline with somebody, again, very, very global speaker around a topic very close, phases in women's careers, and she speaks really well. Now we know we've had that event last year. We know that we're a very small audience. So now for only our paid members, this time we want to have it for a much larger audience.
100%.
So also, of course, to drive users, to also generally have impact. And that's what we're looking at. So we're looking at promoting not only in LinkedIn, but also, other platforms such as Eventbrite, which we've never looked in the past.
Oh, yeah.
And,
yes.
Right?
Yep.
And looking at, of course, the LinkedIn algorithms. I do not know how sometimes I think I've told you that now, this one very useless events you see, not useless, but okay, not an event that I would attend, but sometimes you see till like 100,000 people have signed up.
I know, it's crazy. I've seen that.
I
Yes.
don't know how to do it. And I was checking one event last week, which had like, 20,000 people sign up. And then I looked up at the event, it said it was canceled at the end.
Oh, wow.
So no idea what they were doing there, but
sounds like a growth hacker from one of my communities who's been doing something like this in the past. He puts events, gets a whole bunch of people signed up, and cancels to get the brand out. Oh gosh, I don't encourage you to do that. Definitely don't do that. But yeah, I hear you on that front. Yes.
So of course, I think for us, it's yes, growth is one thing, but we also want to impact lives. So we know that. When our advisor speaks about this topic, it has really changed lives in the past. We want to have more people attend it, and so we'll work consciously on promoting it. And you said LinkedIn Live, we should try. That's something that we haven't done.
Yeah.
And also partners. We want to reach out and build, look at promoting it across affiliates, across partners, asking the speaker to share a video.
Yep.
Upfront. So things like these.
Yeah, fantastic. I think you need to tap into tools like Restream. I don't know if we talked about that, but it allows you to stream live simultaneously across all major platforms. So once you get LinkedIn into your mix, you can go like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, like all in one shot. Again, it's all about that consistency and reach. And ultimately, we don't know where the results are all going to come from. They can come from multiple places with different behaviors, and we need to figure that out. But ultimately, yeah, you'll get there. I mean, I know you're not there yet, but you will get there. So just to recap on this hack, I mean, for the events, you've done some very successful events in the past with some really high profile people, and people have had major interest. Building on that, I think it's going to be really good. They've got to be recorded. You should make a portion for paid clients only. So for example, you can make like 80-90% of the event open to the public, but the Q&A is only for members, and that would be recorded because you would be able to use that for paid membership, and you would record them and they would be able to see past events. In the beginning, what you might want to do is you might just want to keep it open, right? Just till you build your user base, and then you can switch that over into paid content, which is going a bit deeper into some Q&A that would be very specific to your audience, because that's going to add more value to a paid client versus just an open audience. So I think that's going to work out really well. So, I mean, to your point, consistency is key. You just got to go about it. You need a content calendar. I know we've been talking about, and I know you're working on it. Your event frequency needs to pick up. I know that you've got like a good roster of quality people, and there's a few people that I'll recommend to you as well. And you should get other people in your membership to recommend people as well, so that you have like an annual roster of people with a calendar well in advance to have people prepared and ready, lined up with a program that promotes the people that come into your events.
Absolutely. So we did that last year, at least for a quarter. We shared at the beginning and then the next quarter.
Yep.
And that's what we'll be doing again.
Yep.
I think what we've made a lot of effort because we were building the brand initially to get the right people. We actually rejected to get sometimes people wanting, consultants and want you to come and speak. But we know that the members are, their time is of value. So there is so much free stuff happening. So we try to keep that nobody feels that their time was wasted. So we get very, very high quality. But now the focus is also to grow the audience, which we haven't done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it'll naturally come. I mean, as your social media becomes more consistent with this campaign, and we talked about a hack. I don't know if it's been executed yet. The interviews on the ground, has that happened at all? The small interviews that talk about opening the door or opening her door, maybe. Did you start that yet?
Yes, we've started. We have 2 videos that have come today, so we'll be using them.
Awesome. So I think like building more consistency with micro videos, that being 60 seconds or less, with some really good branding and messaging, you can build like a really good database of consistent pre-scheduled content that gives you a lot of visibility over a period of time, as we talked about. So you'll be able to do that. I know it's not part of this hack, but it will assist this hack for sure.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And awesome. I think it's great stories. You never know who's had what kind of story and who helped in which way. So yeah. Agreed.
Awesome. So that's hack number 3. We'll head over to the next video and we'll talk a little bit more about your last 10 days and how they worked out. Awesome. Is there anything else you want to share with us on hack number 3 at all before we move on?
No, I think no, I'm just super excited about it. And we've just never thought in those ways. Of course, sometimes it's also when you're doing a business for good, you tend to focus a lot on the impact and good. And of course, you things will happen, but we've never really proactively thought of these things. So I'm grateful to have met you. And
no, thank you very much. And I think with the soft incentives that we talked about, I think those are going to go a long way. So like really test the soft incentives versus the hard incentives. And I'm pretty sure your soft incentives are going to outperform your hard incentives. But as we always know in growth hacking, we don't really know the results until we try and we find those signals. Once we got those signals in place, we go down that route. But definitely something for you to further experiment with.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.